our tangent.
Yeah.
No, we'll do 1.5.
Way. So, of course,
And it
the
didn't work,
inequality
whatever.
in economic stability is going to be a central cause of societal ills.
Yeah, and I think too with like the different intersections, like Black and Brown communities, queer communities, disabled, like you mentioned, domestic violence. We already have a society set up a certain way, and being such like a capitalist society, that when all these other intersections come into play, it like we've.
I don't know what you might call it. Maybe intersectionality. We got all these intersections coming in. I wonder if anybody's called this out before.
I prefer roundabouts as a European, to be
more,
honest.
you know, inequality within it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the vast majority of crime or any other social ill, like monetary factors are what drive a lot of it.
No. Other way around. Other way around, guy.
If you look at stuff like domestic violence, you could even break that down and say, hey, look, because we're having financial problems in our marriage or whatever the case may be, that can cause.
But because we're having financial problems, I'm going to beat you to death, bitch. Like, no, that's not what happens. Like, no.
I told you, they see any problem as being a subset of this. It's erroneous from the start. It's not even about having the wrong causality, and even the principle itself that any sort of problem is caused by economic inequality is retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the idea that you would have a person who would, like, there's a certain sort of person who would beat somebody senseless. Beat somebody they're supposed to love senseless. It's not that anybody could be that if they're just poor enough. Like, no. They are poor because they beat their wives senseless. That's why they're poor. For this, it's caused by the same thing. He's just correlating two things and going, well, it must be that being poor caused it. No, it's the other way around. You haven't considered that, man.
It's the issues, and so it's if you have everything like better distributed, then I think that you would solve a lot of, not all crime, but the vast majority of it for sure.
And I'm a survivor of domestic violence, so I could definitely attest to like the financial abuse aspect of why some people can stay longer.
Hang on. She's trying to frame financial abuse as being a problem with the free allocation of resources, i.e. the capitalist allocation of resources. No, it's not. That's not what's going on there. It's that you have some abuser who is controlling all of your shit, and you're not controlling your shit. That's not capitalist, right? They're basically stealing everything you have from you and keeping you, coercing you to be in a certain situation. They go over this in the Rape Gang Inquiry Report, of course. It's not that if you just distributed it better, that suddenly this is no longer a thing. All of these muzzies, they're getting government welfare. Like it's not that distributing it more suddenly makes it better. Because guess what? You can still have financial abuse. Multiple instances of these girls later when they're women being coerced into signing up and doing welfare fraud and things like this, and it all just goes back to the abusers, right?
If anything, this creates more incentives for this financial fraud to happen. If we were to get these welfare programs, like it happens right now, it has the opposite effect of that they want to achieve.
It's she's twisting what that word means, right? Which I think is bad. I think it's very, very bad.
Than we'd want to, is because we can't get out from under, where are we going to go, to the street, it's a worse situation or scenario than the one we know, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think one thing I can think of is housing insecurity, a major issue in my view of why there's such a problem with housing and with not just.
And also the question of what, it wasn't the economic inequality which caused that person to be abusive, right? It was financial insecurity. Sure, you're unequal there. And that was a mechanism of the abuse, right? But that didn't cause them to be abusive in the first place. That's the question. Is economic inequality the root of that problem? No, it's not. It's people being evil. That's the root. They've got many other mechanisms explained in great detail in the Rape Gang Inquiry Report. They've got ludicrous methods that they can use to coerce women into doing horrific things.
Homelessness, but people having inadequate housing is accumulating.
Inadequate housing. Now the housing is inadequate. You've got your basic need is no longer housing. It's adequate housing, whatever the fuck that goddamn means, right? And of course we know that when you give the homeless houses, in fact, they wreck the fucking place. right? There's a reason why they were homeless in the first place. Normally they're like schizophrenic or crazy or something, right? And they wreck the place when you give them housing. And it becomes terrible to live in. And then they're like, I don't want to live here anymore. Like, there are actual instances of homeless people being given houses, and they're like, I don't want to live here. They don't have a fucking maid that comes over and cleans it for me. Like, I don't have a fucking maid that comes over and cleans for me. Why the fuck would a homeless person get that? Like, it needs to be adequate. They need a fucking mansion for every homeless person I get. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, and notice the shifting of the goalposts. Every time, okay, we give these people housing. No, now they have to be adequate. No, now they have to have internet. No, now they have to have 3 bedrooms. Oh, now they have to have 3 toilets. It's always shifting because there's no standard to put it. When the standard is achieved, then we gotta push for the next one and the next one and the next one until there's nothing left. There's no way to do it.
Of capital ownership of real property, so I feel like that inherent unequal structure ends up having people not be able to afford housing. It brings the prices up, and they stay up no matter the circumstances, and that endless growth.
There is that there is that tweet where it's like people making fun of like supply and demand. And it's like, these people fundamentally don't understand supply and demand. It's like that tweet, you sometimes walk past a business class and they're writing something like profit equals revenue minus costs. And you think like, well, they're not of the same caliber of me, whatever it says. Like, but you don't understand that. Fundamentally, these socialists, they don't understand what that means. They don't understand any of the implications. So like maybe that business class was actually fucking onto something,
Endless growth doesn't allow for people who are already in a difficult situation to find available housing, and
I also do love this socialist mantra of, well, capitalism is asking for endless growth. Indeed, it is asking for endless growth. Endless growth is a good thing. I love endless growth. I want endless growth. Yes, you're correct, socialist.
They want stagnation.
Millions of empty homes and millions more people homeless. And I personally believe we could house every single person.
Look at this. This is why he wanted the number. He didn't want percentages.
Yeah, we could house every single person. By what means? Who pays for it? Who pays for it?
This is just rhetoric. He wants a number just for rhetoric. Millions of houses. You hear this, you get scared. But there's hundreds of millions that are housed. But there's millions where people are not housed. Like millions of empty houses. Right? It's not about what if people actually own them. It's like, it's just the feeling that, oh, these houses could be put to a better use by the